Audio on Instagram, wait, Twitter and Instagram, whatever. And yeah, his entire page is just dedicated to being cool, being an alpha male, and putting down women while trying to convince everybody how cool he is. But babe, we can see you. We can see you with our eyes. So in the comments section,
Hey, what's up, guys? Make sure the audio for sure. Yeah, it's good.
There we go. All right. So welcome to another Nuke stream. Today we're just gonna make it a Q&A. Had a lot of things going on this weekend and July 4th. So, and I do want to talk about certain topics in the future, but I needed time to really sit down. I'd really want to do a show about AI and how to improve your dating profile and your Instagram with AI without it being looking fake. And photography, just one big show like that, but that takes a lot of planning and time, and I've just been completely slammed. I think this week I finally have time to work on the book, work on I wrote a great article today. If you guys want to check it out, it's in the chat. um, so I had time to do that, but today we're just going to do a Q&A, and I put the link for the did I? Oh, I didn't put the link. I put it on Twitter, but the link, the anonymous question link. So if you guys want to um, send a question there. If you're too embarrassed to ask here in the chat, and it's very personal, I like this because it gives you guys a little bit of discretion, and it also allows for a little bit of honesty. Because if there's anything that's missing in dating discourse and dating strategy, it is honesty. Honesty from me, the guy that's sharing notes with you, and honesty from the people that are asking questions. And it's interesting because whenever search, whenever I'm trying to make a thumbnail or just look at other people's content, and I search like dating coach or dating consultant or anything like that, it's women. Women are the ones that pop up first, and I see the style and all that stuff, and they do ask many things and Q&As and stuff, and I'm like, people really don't want to learn how to date. They don't want results, right? A lot of dating advice is just being told, it's just therapy language. It's just emotional therapy language that sounds good. But I'm not here for that. We're here for solutions. We're here for rule zero, more sexual power and options. And the thing is with mainstream dating advice or female dating advice, it's that it cannot choose a side, right? Yes, are there like the ones where it say get your bag girl, get your bag sis, blah blah blah. Sure. But most of those women aren't even dating anyway, and whatever. And but the ones that are trying to be like the dating coach for both genders, um, they default to therapy language, and they default to make sure this doesn't offend women. And I'm sorry that you cannot give dating advice to men if it's palatable to women. This stuff should sound disgusting to women. It should piss them off, right? Because again, like our father Rollo Tomasi said, in order for one gender sexual strategy to succeed, the other one has to abandon or compromise their own. So this is the thing. Right, going on this tangent, right? Going on this tangent, you have to make a choice. It's you or women. And guys hate. to have to make that choice because they want to be nice to women. They want to be accepted by them. They don't want to get laid, right? Guys do not want to get laid as much as you think. They want validation. They want women to agree with them. They want women to get, they want commitment from women. They don't want to get laid. For a space that was originally started about getting laid, no one really wants to get laid that bad. They want to change the world. They want to take on these world stakes like immigration or whatever, but they don't want to change the world. Sorry, they don't want to get laid. So, yeah. Um, hey, yes, hello. How are you, Michael? Mountain Man Tops. There you go. Guys, I will do as many questions as I can, but super chats take priority. I will just go down the list, and then at some point, I'm going to do the anonymous question. So, Mountain Man Tops, what's a good opener for when you see a hot chick at the Walmart? Uh, use the Roosh V opener, man. Like, ask her advice. When in public places where it's not exactly a sexual zone, women, it's not even have their guard up, but it's just they are not like you don't want to give a super sexual opener, right? You're in a public place. She's not expecting to be flirted to like that, but at least not at first. So just asking advice, like in the gym, Roosh used to say he would go up to women, work out in the treadmill next to them, and then ask them, "Hey, do you know how to work this treadmill?" And then he would start a conversation. And I tried it once. I tried it once in the gym, and it turned out to be a porn star uh, here from Dallas, and I would never guess. She was like this petite Asian girl, and she started working out next to me, and all I said was I started saying like, "Hey, some fitness advice," because she was very in shape. And yeah, opened her up and started talking and asked for a number. I still regret it to this day, even though I'm happily in a relationship. But now frame that to a conversation at a supermarket or at a store saying, "Hey, like, do you recommend these?" Right. And then you can throw in, uh, displays of, wait, demonstrations of higher value, DHV, like, uh, sprinkle in that, hey, I used to try to buy this product um, for my mother when I used to shop for her or something, some sort of soften them up. Um, or when I used to take care of my mother, I used to buy her this, right? Just something heartwarming, soft, soften her up, and then talk, right? So it's always the asking for advice always gets women's uh, guard down in public non-sexual zones, right? So yeah, and Mystery used to do it. So who am I to say Mystery's wrong? So hey, you got the kids this weekend? Yeah. Buenas noches, good Yvonne, good evening. Man, you watching the game, Alex? It's a good one. I couldn't believe England scored 2 goals that fast in the Azteca. That's crazy. Like I am here out of an act of love, but I almost considered canceling the show, but I have a job to do, guys. So yeah, great game, and it's halftime, or they're probably gonna start up soon, but whatever. But anyways, until more questions show up or super chats, uh, guys don't want to make this decision. They want to compromise, right? That's why these men follow these female approved dating advice people. It's because they don't want to make that choice. They don't want to put themselves first. They don't want to be selfish. They hate it. They want to be self-sacrificial. They want to be understood by women. And then that's the whole point of the red pill. It's self-actualization. It's not to control women. It's not to change the world, right? It's simply get rid of this shit male identity that you have that's based on making women happy and being afraid to stand up for yourself and for what you want, right? You want to have sex with women. Stop kidding yourself. You know that you don't like it when your girlfriend or your wife does something. You know that. And Ryan, I think, did a show on Saturday about being a better punching bag. That's what we were trained to be, right? At first, we get emotional. We don't learn about how to handle our emotions as men, right? Instead of going to the gym, we defer to being like women and talking. Doesn't work. And then we grow up, and then now we're like, hey, stoicism. Being a man is taking a woman's emotional punches to the face and not complaining. I'm like, no, dude, no, you don't have to. You don't have to. And that's the biggest, that blows guys' minds. Women are entitled. And you have to every day remind them that you don't have to be here, that it is by choice, that you can leave or you can do better. In a marriage is a little bit more difficult. It requires more strategy and thinking, and dread. But in general, in life, you have to remind women, especially the women you love, that to not take you for granted. So, all right. Chat was a stroke with a $2, sir. You get one of these. Oh, and a $6 gets you a $6 shrimp special.
Thank you so much, best friend.
All right, Chad Twizzler Stroke with a 2 or 199. What is your cringiest date moment? Like, LO, we all do. Oh man, I've had several. Like, I went out with, I've had great successes. I've had great pulls, but for the most part, when I was in the Navy, I went out with a girl. And it was just a Burger King, and we ate in the back, or we ate in her car, and she catfished me, and she brought her twin babies to the date too, without telling me. And I was like, holy crap. So I just walked back to base after the date. And I was like, man, it's gonna be a rough couple of years. But then, after I got out the Navy, things got much better. But yeah, that was a really bad date. Um, Same month, I got super catfished by some, like, I even FaceTime with her. This was like 2015, 2014. I got catfished by a woman. It was bad. Like, I even FaceTimed and her face looked thin, but she picked me up, and when I when I sat in her car, it was just like this ogre, like just huge woman. I'm like, shit. So yeah, that's an embarrassing moment. More recent, in 2021, I went on a date with this girl. I matched with her on Hinge or Tinder, and her face was like whatever, but body was amazing. Like the whole baddie, like Daphne Joy looking body, right? That all the black guys are going crazy for. And we went on a date, and dude, my standards and my system, I sacrificed it. How do you say foregoed? Is that how you say it? Foregoed my dating system that I had been setting up and learning. And when we went on a date, we went to this place. I took her out to eat, and then I took her out, like, it was like a two-story Latin bar. Guys from Dallas, you probably know which one it is I'm talking about. And we went to eat, and then we went upstairs and hung out, and there was like no sexual tension, nothing. And after we got back, I didn't even physically escalate, like no touching or anything. And then I said, "Come on, you want to go upstairs?" And I was trying to convince her to come upstairs. Like, I was like, "Come on, what's the word?" Like, just kept pushing. She's like, "No, no, it's fine." I'm like, "Yeah, that was pretty cringe." Forewent. Damn, that shows. That shows how much I know English. Yeah, 240p used to lie. Now it's AI. It's like you're never gonna win, right? And the thing is, look at it like this. Um, what's uh what's one of the things that should have what's one of the industries that should have gone downhill, um with all video and media technological advancement? Should have been like anything where women are required to post videos and pictures of them online to sell a product. So what's the most streamlined version of that? uh Adult films, adult movies, right? So you would think that this industry would go downhill, but you know what happened, Michael? And this is my theory, and I'm standing behind it, right? My theory is that during COVID, a lot of women stayed inside, and they had a lot of practice to do makeup, right? Like makeup tutorials and all that stuff. Like when I was during COVID 2020, I would always see women doing makeup tutorials, like personal female friends of mine, or like just scrolling through algorithms, Facebook. It was just everything was makeup tutorials. So I think makeup just jumped in price, and in not price, but just more people got better at makeup, and makeup became more higher technology, right? Because the things I see now, like the catfishing I see now is like insane, right? And really, guys, the biggest for you guys that are dating, that are actually trying, not people that are just here to like complain and stuff. That this is going to be your biggest thing in dating, right? Yeah, ghosting, cool. It's not a big deal because if you get ghosted, it's just um nothing happens, right? If you get ghosted, it sucks, right? But it's just what's going to happen is you're going to start you're going to start dealing with women that are incredibly dishonest about how they look. So, one second, I got the dog. Sorry, the dog was barking. But yeah, man, it's the thing you got to deal with. Can you FaceTime? Yes, but like I make TikToks sometimes, and it smooths out my face, right? It's complete like no woman on social media is actually looks like her pictures. Like even without being prompted or being asked, social media will automatically smooth out and fix a woman's face, right? So here we are, and it's just making dating a little bit harder. You're just gonna have to ask for um you're just gonna have to FaceTime, gamble if you're still not sure, right? And you don't want to get dressed really nice. And you can always do a coffee date, a quick meetup or something just to see because it's getting bad. And I don't blame you guys. It sucks, but listen, we're here. And AI is, like there have been some crazy catfishes on Twitter with these e-girls. Like one of them fooled me to the point where I was like, I couldn't believe it. And they were even their thirst traps, right? I used to talk to a girl back in the day. Even her thirst traps were AI fixed up and all that. Like the stuff that she would send to men, behind the scenes, just for talking. So it's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like and then that's not. Don't get me started on it. So, all right, chat with a stroke. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend.
Chad Twizzler Stroke for the $4.99. It happens. We learn from them. I used to be a bad sim, but I used to believe in the sacrifice yourself. I could time travel and slap my own self. Yeah, that's why you got to forgive yourself, man. You didn't know, and you were trained. This is just you know, this was just your programming. It's really, is it anyone's fault? Yeah, I mean, you could say it's your mother's, your father's, society, but who cares? Who cares whose fault it is? Let's solve it. Let's get this done and we move on, right? So, all right, we got a $6 wheel. We got a shrimp special.
Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. $6 shrimp special!
All right, $6 shrimp special for Michael Traptree. What is the goofiest way a girl showed up to a date? For me, it was on a knee scooter. Shrimp special. Knee scooter. I mean, did you hit? What was the goofiest way a girl showed up on a date for me? Goofiest way. I don't know. I've just been on so many dates. Goofiest way. Uh, a girl showed up in like Lululemon. I mean, I'm Hispanic. Whenever we go out, we kind of dress nice. So, when I saw her dress up in Lululemon, I was like, you know, I don't, I don't like that. I thought it was goofy. But in terms of goofy and all that stuff, no, I've never experienced too much goofiness and all that stuff. Overly sexual, yes, but not goofy like silly or something. But yeah, it's funny. Knee scooter, yeah, can't do it. Oh, like Oh, like one of those medical schooler. Okay. Like she broke her leg and didn't tell me. I did not. So she showed up at in the day with a broken leg. Was she like trying to get free drinks, or was she trying like did you not hit because of the broken leg, or well, like what happened? Curious. Little Joker baby, can a pimp turn a hoe into a housewife? No, don't count on it. Now, she can turn herself into a housewife, and she has to prove to the pimp that she can be a housewife. But good luck, right? Here's the thing that's working against women in this case. Women can't shut the hell up. So, and they value more female hierarchy and status more than they do love. And sometimes, like with my Substack post today, I explained that when women value status amongst their peers, their followers, their family, whoever, they will always defer to what they think over what the man she wants thinks. So if a hoe wants to be a housewife, she has to give up trying to impress other women and friends and her ex and all. It has to be 100% you, like course blinders on, turn off the social media, turn off everything. You don't have to get rid of it, but just, give up and let it go. And that's how it works. Because one thing about women is that it's actually very contradictory to please a man and to have status among friends, right? It doesn't, so they have to give up one or the other. And oftentimes they give up, or they just get a man with no standards and they just, have the guy, and the guy becomes like just a guy that's there, just, so yeah. So because she sucked, that wouldn't have stopped me. My man. Yep. Well, I broke my hand once and I still banged my girlfriend that week. So with my broken hand, I didn't even know it was broken yet. Still hit. So, Doge, hell yeah. What was I saying? Where's my dog? There he is. He's back behind me. Anyways, all right. So, yeah. So going back to to like what I was saying, in terms of this. Yeah, so women have to choose, and often it's like Rollo Tomasi said, "Hey, it's brand management, right?" And even I tell my girlfriend or any woman or people on the internet, I'm like, "Hey, listen, like you guys got to stop using like celebrities and their personal lives as examples um of how dating should work. Like, can you post rage bait to like push your stuff? Yeah, of course. I mean, it's your life. I mean, it's your content, right? But the truth is, it's brand management. It's the brand goes first, right? And I had this post by Taylor Swift, which I'll put up here soon. Let me make sure all the chats are closed. Where she is, where I post that she's had 14 ex-boyfriends. Now, is that a lot? I don't know. It's a lot of boyfriends, not a lot of bodies for a modern woman. Usually they probably get to marriage about 30 bodies. Average woman, I suspect. I don't know, but I suspect. But yeah, let's blow this up a little bit. Here we go. So, this is all the men she's dated. 14 of them, that we know of, but hey, by regular woman standards, that's kind of normal. What is that? A dude and a half a year sleeping with, if she gets married at 30. But here's the thing, right? The whole publicly taking on her husband's last name, it is proof that all dating past a certain point is brand management first. Like even us, our dating is brand management, right? Because you have to fit in each other's lives in a way that it boosts at a minimum, boosts her social media and her status. And again, it goes back to what I wrote about. Like it's status and romance being confused here, right? If you get with a guy that does not raise your status and you don't like him, and every time he does something to lower your status, you punish him, or you just, then you don't like them that much. Just like genuine desire. Genuine desire oftentimes supersedes more than it overlaps giving women status, right? So if you have genuine desire for a guy and the guy's an asshole or cheats or do all that stuff, right? You're gonna be mad, but you're going to think having this guy in my life is more important than being the cool hot girl in my group or on social media, right? So aim to be that type of guy. Now, again, should you care what your girl posts on social media? I don't know. Like, it's her life. I don't care if she embarrasses you or disrespects you or causes you, harm to your private life. Then you talk to her about it, right? But so, yeah. Holy crap! Let me get this super chat, guys.
Thank you so much, best friend.
Alex Patino 84 with the $5. England just scored a third, but after 40 years, when they lost to Argentina in 1986 at Estadio Azteca, they want redemption. Shake my damn head, bread and circus. Dude, I just missed that third goal, man. My Mexican friends are going to be so sad if they lose. It's going to be a tough game. Yeah. What is the game time? Oh, it's on right now, man. I think they just got out of halftime and now they're playing. England just scored on the third goal, apparently. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get my Fox One app up here. I should be able to sign in quickly here. Because I paid for it for a month. Let's see. Yeah, but brand management, right? Like women care more about and the thing is you'll know, right? Hold on, let me there we go. Let me just mute it. Okay, so I'm watching the game right now. While we're doing this, right? So yeah. Let's see. Where are we? Okay. I used to let's get this out of here. Okay. I used to think you both had to mesh perfectly like gears, but in reality, it's more like you're the engine, your game is the clutch, and she's the transmission. You have to get her up to speed. Yeah. And the thing is too, we got to get rid of this control stuff, control, and outcome stuff, right? Because what I see a lot of the times when we're talking about game and women and relationships, it all boils down to how do I get my woman to do what I want? And it's not a good way of thinking because your woman will always can do whatever she wants. What you do is you have to become separate from her life. First of all, you gotta have one foot out the door in a relationship, right? Hey, she's got to get that feeling that she's one or two big fights away from losing you forever, right? And you don't have to, and it's like you don't say it. You don't say it. You don't talk about it. You just through your actions, you let her know, hey, you could lose me, right? This is being distracted with work. This is staying and being attractive. Having strong boundaries. And when you're mad at her, let her know, hey, I am upset with you, and that's it. And obviously there's more nuance, right, to that. But yeah, it's basically frame, right? It's the world she steps into, right? You wanting for her to do exactly as you say is not frame, right? Because you are dependent on what she does. You do this. You just tell her, hey, good luck. Good luck. Let's see if you can keep me in this relationship. I'm rooting for you, but good luck. And that's really frank because you're not worried about what happens. You want her to win, but you say, hey, it's up to you. I'm going to continue to do things that's required of me and my job for you and all that stuff. But I'm not going to be praying to the gods that you say every day. I'm just going to watch what you do and act accordingly. Right. And that's frank. So it's a foregone conclusion now. Right now, Mexico will lose at home. Yeah. Ghost of Royce in the chat. What's the player's signature vehicle? I don't know. I want a Mercedes. Now, I'm like First, I wanted a Saturn Sky. Then I looked at some Saturn Skies in real life, and I'm like, these cars are kind of tacky. You know, they're like a little bit tacky. And then unless you like soup them up and you make them super sporty, they look kind of tacky. So I don't know. Sorry if you got a Saturn Sky. They just look kind of tacky to me. Number two, I wanted a Porsche, but Porsche seems like this kind of it's just a sports car. And I'm like, I talked to a guy on a Twitter space and he said that Mercedes is a good car for guys that want to be seen as classy, but it's just cars. I'm not really a consumerist guy. Like, you know, I just want something most likely. I drive a company car now, but most likely my first vehicle, personal vehicle in a long time, if I buy one, will be a Lexus. And something that looks classy, respectful, you know. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Wow, valiendo verga. Yeah, crazy. Thanks for the reply always. Oh yeah, man, no problem. Have a good Fourth. Yeah, I mean, it was low key. I went to the pool with my girl and I just hung out. You know, didn't do anything crazy. I got FF and Remake Part 1, 2 for $50 on Switch. Play the original if you haven't. Please play the original first. Do not spoil yourself by playing the remake. Please, for the love of God, do not play the remake before you play the original. Original is one of the greatest games of all time. The remake is one of the biggest flops of all time. So you get an LC 500. Let's see what an LC 500 is. Hold on, let me. Man, what a game! I have it on LC 500. Ooh, that's a pretty car. No, I know, but I see these a lot. Wait, hold on. 2021 Lexus. Oh no, that's a really nice car. $120,000. Holy shit. Is that the most expensive? Okay, good. Just worried. Yeah. I just want something sexy and classy, you know. Watching the Uh-oh, Mexico got a goal. It's 2-3. Alex, you're already giving up on your team. They might come back. They might come back. Yeah, I mean, I can talk for hours on what happened, but essentially it just became really Disneyfied, right? The original atmosphere of the game was supposed to be dark, steampunk dark, you know, but with a pervasive kind of hope. Uh, and also the game was supposed to center around identity and reality and like coming to grips with reality and all that stuff. And in the remake, it just doesn't seem they screwed it all up. Yeah, it's so I mean, Liar Silver will tell you, hey, like these games really aren't they don't have the spirit of the original, right? So yeah. Yeah. It's a good game. It's a good game. England's down to 10 players. That's not good. Maybe they're gonna run down England wants to run down the clock, so but anyways, where were we? Okay. So yeah, brand management talks about that. All right. Any more? Let's see. Any more questions? You got to play the game. You got to play the game. You'll see that it's really cool graphics and the fight system is pretty cool, but like story wise, it just doesn't do it. So, oh, you guys saw me probably walked in the background. So, what about Solstice GX? Nah, it's just those cars are just they're like old boomer car. I don't know something about them. I just lost interest or something. So, yeah. Yeah, I was playing Crimson Desert today for an hour or two. It was awesome today. All right. See what else here on Twitter that I should talk about this week. So yeah, we talked about the Taylor Swift thing, and she's getting married, and how she didn't take Travis Kelce's last name. Conflating romance with increasing status. Talked about that. She's not here, just your turn. I mean, we're tired of explaining that. Do I got to explain that at this point? Let me see. I mean, another thing that another thing that I keep seeing pop up on my timeline, right? As the world's best dating consultant, is that these San Francisco girls, these girls that are like Asian, half Asian, and they do these posts where they're having fun and they're out, doing these like pretending to be these elitists where they don't let anyone into their, like just exclusive parties, exclusive lifestyle, striver culture, and all that stuff. And so from people that are my friends and online people that tell me that come from there, it's just really distorted gender ratio. Tech heavy, male skewed, high income, concentration, and when you have all those things together, jobs that select for smart overthinkers with not a lot of aura or riz, a lot of men, and high income concentration. What do you think is going to happen? Right? It's like this isn't some mystery that everyone keeps not understanding. It's just like, hey, this is like Las Vegas for women, right? Um, it's just the way it works. And if you guys look at any scene in anything, right, uh, where there is women that are unattractive tend to want to go to places where there is less competition. There's less women than there are men because they get treated better. Right. I'm not saying that these women are just going there for that, right? But then they find themselves in these situations and they act and get these attitudes, right? You get these women that have the audacity to post about themselves. Now you may say, well, it's probably scripted. Hey, these women know what they're doing. They have these projects to push, they have their brands to push. So they're going to rage bait and say that, hey, I got this guy to fly me to Hawaii or do whatever. And she doesn't, for what it's worth, I think all these women are okay attractiveness. They're not hideous. If you're thin in America, you're a 7 out of 10 almost, right? 6 if you're like physically unattractive in the face. But yeah, there's just too many fat people for me to be saying a woman that's thin and in shape is unattractive. But at the same time, you see that the inflated egos, inflated sense of attraction that these women have, and they're just taking these men's posts or the things that men do for them and putting it all over social media. Again, goes back to the article. Anything that's public is not romantic. It takes away from the authenticity and it makes it seem like, hey, I want this. I want to post this because I want status. And she is just trying to get status among her female friends. And you guys got to understand that these posts aren't for you. If they get you mad, great for her, but they're for other women to be like, "Ooh, she's, like to gain status amongst other women." It is not for you, right? So guys will say, well, so there's this guy here. Let me just pull him up real quick. Make sure everything's closed. Okay. So right here, this guy says, which not all of his takes are good, but at least he gives some thought. It isn't. Oh crap, man! I just missed it. Hold on. Where was it? Man, I just. Here we go. So he says here at the end of this tweet, the men taking her on trips aren't stupid. They're responding rationally to the local market conditions. They're overpaying by national standards, but they're playing the local market, and I don't think that's smart. Right? It's not smart to not get results and keep doing, what's the definition of doing the same thing and not getting results, right? Do I think she's hideous? No. I think that this woman is much more in shape than most women I see. And listen, I live in a fit community and I go to the gym and I'm around fit people 80% of my social life. But the minute I start going to work and I go to these data centers and industrial places, the people are just overweight, man. Everyone is just, unless the only caveat is that they're really young. If they're young, if I go to a place where there's young people like college students studying and stuff, then I'll see a lot of skinny people or people of weight. But other than that, good luck. So it's not rational. It's not rational to take women on, to these places and dote on them. You don't know these women. It doesn't get you results. They look down on you, and you'll end up doing what? Being fodder for her social media post, right? If you're a hot girl in SF, get Hinge and thank me later. It's like, is this prostitution? But yeah, even like X Runner said, it works until the freshman 20 hit. It used to be the freshman 15, but now it's freshman 20. But yeah, it's ridiculous because now now we have to we have to field again. This is the market of men I want to help. If there's any market of men I want to help, it's men like this, right? Because at the end of the day, these guys are the ones that they have the money to invest in themselves and all that, and they also are smart. The only thing is that they just don't understand intersexual dynamics. And the thing is with people in San Francisco, Asian people, they're very pro-social, right? They're very pro-social, which looks like Democrat or liberal to some people, but they're very pro-social. So they got these networks of people, and so they're very tightly knit community. Not tightly knit, but just just kind of the whole, like, they value friendships, and they value these things more than other people. And you have to do the opposite, man. Like Whisper says, your devotion to women is worthless. It's a social media post. It's your money, your time, your effort, your dignity, right? If I'm ever gonna do something like this for a woman, she better be kissing me and leaning into me in a photo and be looking at me like I'm her, like I'm her, like, prince in shining, or I'm her prince in shining armor, right? Not some dude that she met last week. And guys got to understand, it's putting the cart before the horse. Do you want to do things for women, nice women, things for women? Okay, well, ask yourself this. If you knew you were going to get sex, would you still do those things for women? If for a guarantee, if you knew you were going to get laid, like she just said, I don't care what we do, I just want to hook up, would you still take her out on a date? Number two, if you knew for a fact you weren't going to get laid, would you still do those things for women? And if you ask yourself both of those questions require lots of honesty from your part. And the thing is, men don't like to answer those questions because it makes them feel like an asshole. And there is your problem. When a girl is saying, I want to give you what you want, take it, and you're like, no, I don't want to just take it, I want to also give you stuff. There is your problem. It's not whether a girl will sleep with you or she won't. It's that even if she did, you still want to do stuff for her beyond what she needs from you. And that's the problem. Time for Helldivers. Oh, cool, dude. Hey, message me on Twitter your username. We could play together maybe. So let me see any more questions. Yeah, it's just very overwhelming. There's a lot of mechanics and stuff. I'm like, what, 40, 50 hours in? I'm only on chapter 6, so yeah. Watching this stream while my wife, yeah, your wife's probably yelling right now. Can't blame her. It's still 2-3. They're probably gonna try to run out the clock. Mexico has the ball right now. Wow. Heroes Forge, how you doing, sir? Great content from Nuke. Be sure to hit the like button and show your support. It's free, and yes, please hit the like button, guys. Make me more popular than female dating coaches. It's ridiculous. My God, I could just go on YouTube and like do a YouTube streamathon and just react to hours of female dating advice. It's rough. They have no proof of concept. That's the thing about dating advice. And I feel for you guys when you watch me, and when men look at me and said, "You don't know shit," I don't get mad because there's not much proof of concept. Now I'm starting to upload testimonials from guys, but if female dating coaches can make content become popular and without having their concepts proven, right? Or their ideas or what they say held to the fire, uh, then I can do it too, you know? All right. Battle Tops, you get one of these, sir?
Thank you so much, best friend!
How do you handle communication with women at work? Keep it real or play dumb? Mexico, vale madre. Mexico, jodidos. How do you handle communications with women at work? Well, professional, man. Just be professional. If you have a girl that's flirty or is known to flirt with men to get her way, be the type of dude that doesn't, field it too much. A compliment here and there, be nice. If she changed her hair, be nice, but keep your distance. Unless it's like a throwaway job. If you're working for like McDonald's, who cares? Have sex with everyone. It's a throwaway job. But if you have a career and you want to, and you like your job, spend as little time with women socially as you can. Be professional, and know that being attractive also makes working with women much easier. And follow Mish, Chat of Arabia on Substack. He has a lot of great content on dealing with this stuff. He is an HR manager in Saudi Arabia, so great stuff. They need to score a third goal or they're effed. Yeah, it's 82:50 on the clock. They got a ball right. They got the ball right now. Oh, they're setting up. Oh, yeah, it's a tough game. It's a good one, but they're tough. Jose, so, man, I'm sorry, man. But the thing is, it's an upset though because of the freaking stadium, the Azteca. No one wins there, right? It's no one has ever won there. At least for like what most games, like 99% of visitors never win there. So, yeah. All right. All right. So, anyways, so yeah, guys, like I know these quips sound cool, like your devotion is worthless, be awesome instead, right? But we mean it because it's your money, it's your life, and most importantly, it's your dignity, right? And you don't want to be the type of dude that's mad at women because he just can't help himself giving them stuff. And I know, and here's the hard part for a lot of guys, they match with hot women and they have a conversation and then they set up a date and the woman's like, "Can we go to dinner instead?" Right? And I'm like, "Well, there's your answer, dude. You may feel like, oh, let's go to dinner, let's do it, right? But the thing is, girls that like you will just do whatever you want to do within reason, right? You're not going to take her behind a dumpster or to McDonald's, right? But girls, when she offers dinner, when she starts making plans on her, by her accord, there's your answer. And guys don't like these like, they want direct communication from women. And I'm like, that's not how it works. You don't get direct communication from women. It's subtext, it's sub communication, it's contextual, right? So you need to understand that when you're talking to women, you're not talking to a man, or else you're going to be mad all the time. And really, most of men's dating problems start because they believe, even conservative men, especially conservative men who are the biggest feminists, that they believe in this egalitarian equalism in terms of men and women. They don't understand women. They spend hours, days, tweets, podcasts, shows, arguments, like, and all their arguments are, why can't women be more like men in the way they are? And I'm like, are you a conservative or not? Didn't one of you do like a "What is a Woman" documentary? Well, there you go. What is a woman? A woman is someone that's not going to have your same sexual strategy, your method of communication, and your same life goals, right? Unless you are you're her best current hypergamous option. So get you know get with the program. Get with the program. So I'm watching My Hero Academia right now. It's getting good. I like it. It's a lot of downtime on that show. Uh-oh, Mexico's about to score. Oh no, England got to get the ball. It's a penalty or ref ref called something. Uh, yeah, just My Hero Academia for now. And for what it's worth, My Hero Academia is fun to watch, but sometimes it just rolls on. It's slow. It's much slower than I thought, but when it goes fast, it goes fast. But yeah, I just want to get through it, and then I don't know what I'm gonna watch next. I really want to watch not Roni Kenshin. Is that what the one I was gonna watch? No, not Roni Kenshin. Damn, what's the other one? I mean, let's see. Yu Yu Hakusho. There you go. They're probably gonna watch that. So yeah, the class war arc was pretty cool. Which was that one? The one where it's the two classes are against each other. I think that's where I'm at right now. With where they have to touch the balls with the lights on their suits on their clothes. That's where I'm at. So yeah, yeah. I heard smoking behind the supermarket with you is amazing, and I'm scared to watch it. I am scared. So I have a personal. I'll share it with you guys. It's pretty personal. Yeah, I want to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. It's pretty personal. I I am deeply sometimes affected by the female characters, how they're written in some of these stories, and it kind of like messes with my head, right? Because as a guy, you're kind of used to um certain type of women, your culture, who you date, who you love, and all that stuff. But I used to think that what made these anime girls so alluring was the fact that um they were just, the proportions. It's a cartoon, right? So to speak. So I was like, yeah, I'm not that level gooner, right? Like I had never been turned on by a drawing. I guess it's supposed to do something in your circuitry, but like, I just can't ever see myself spending doing more than a nod, like nice big anime boobs, to, more than that as a reaction to like lewd anime stuff, right? But no big deal. But it's like when you see women that have these like personalities that kind of remind you of girls of your past, or like here's a juxtaposition they do all the time. Very capable women, hyper feminine. Holy crap. How often do you see that, right? Very capable, hyper feminine. That's very rare. So the Japanese know what they're doing. They write these characters and you see them, and that's the fantasy. That's the fantasy. It's not the way they look is a bonus. Uh, and I tell women that with men that like anime, listen, you're not competing against other women. You're competing with this impossible ideal he has in his head about women. And there's even a meme I have somewhere on my computer where it's like, um, I dislike women. Like the whole circular graph or chart. I dislike women. Then the next note is I watch anime. Then I love women. Then I deal with women in real life. Now I dislike women, and it just keeps going. And I'm like, yeah, it's just, and that speaks to kind of like our male psyche, where, and in the current state of affairs in terms of how women are, like how women go about business and how they kind of see themselves and see each other, how they should be seeing each other. We had truly rebranded being useless as feminine, and that is like one of my biggest gripes, because I am not, I'm ex-military, so I have a certain level of hygiene and cleanliness and organization. Not crazy, not crazy, not super like type A, but I like to see everything organized and clean and all that stuff, right? And if I don't clean, organize myself, I get a little bit stressed. But that's just, I grew up with a military dad, and I was in the military for 6 years myself. But um, when you see these capable women in anime, and you see that there's this level of femininity to them, and they're also very vulnerable, right? Which is the most attractive female trait after like physical attractiveness is vulnerability. It does something to your brain, right? And that's why I don't like watching these animes with like ideal females. And the thing is, it'll catch you by surprise. Like it's always some weird kind of female character. You're just like, mm, who's she? And then you just, yeah, I'm a fan of hers. Like she's cool as hell. She's feminine and she treats the main character like a man. I'm like, that sucks. I should not be watching this. And I can give you characters right now. Like everyone knows Tifa Lockhart, not an anime character, but very attractive woman, but also incredibly capable and very vulnerable, right? And she takes care of Cloud, and everyone, like women nowadays will be like, "Well, he's not her mother." Whenever a woman says that you should take care of a man, or vice versa, right? But the thing is, like, it's not taking care. It's just that women like taking care of people, right? So when you write a character that is caring and capable, that makes her very popular amongst men, right? There's a psychology there. Um, there's a Let me see other female characters, and this kind of ties into intersexual dynamics. So I guess I could talk about this, but I'm trying to. I can make a list of these. Maybe I'll write about it one day. But um, let's see. Mikasa Ackerman, very. She's a bad bitch. You know, like remember that one episode when she was going chasing the Titan and she threatened. Was it like Annie? Um, and she was like angry, like she was about to kill both of those Titans to free Eren. But later on in the show, she's like infatuated by him, like feminine, vulnerable. And I'm like, how do they get away with writing this? It's not even real. A woman that's that masculine, that's able to that is a super soldier, about to take down a giant Titan, but also is squeamish in her love for Eren. You know what I'm saying? Is reserved. Like that's crazy. How did the Japanese get away with this? Right? So yeah, I'm trying to think of another character. This character's from Chainsaw Man. I always forget her name, but it's one of those things where um let me see. What is her name? Himeno, the girl with the eye patch. She sacrifices herself in the show, but she's a very troubled woman. I think she is a smoker. For all intents and purposes, she's very masculine. She wears a suit, right? And I think she tries to sleep with Denji or something, which is weird because I think Denji's a little bit young, so it's a little weird. But even with all that, right? She still reminds me of women of the past in terms of her being kind of like this really heartbroken, troubled person, and I've dated women like her, right? And she's still capable and still feminine and very troubled. And this is what I'm saying. Like, you'll find a lot about yourself when you date. And one of the things you'll realize too is that as you date, how you relate to women changes. Whether it be an anime, a show, hell, even um, adult movies. Guys tend to, as they get more experienced sexually, they tend to watch less pornography. And why is that? Because it's just not relatable anymore, right? Like you realize that part of dating and part of sex is the chase. It's not the whole, because I mean I think Sterling I don't know if Sterling confirmed this on a tweet. I said that the fantasy of adult films is that a man is arousing by himself. Like he is just, the fact that he exists is enough to get women to be insanely goo goo gaga sexually into him, to the point where they'll do heinous sexual acts to the guy, right? It's just like what are the premises of oh, guy, uh the stepson and the MILF mom, and the MILF is just crazy over the stepson. Of course, that's appealing to men because it's your burden of performance going away. You get to have a hot chick. You didn't do anything but exist. It's the male fantasy in terms of desire, being loved and sexually desired to the point of almost insanity, um, because you exist, right? But as you gain more experience sexually, right? Um, as you gain more experience sexually, you kind of don't see it that way anymore. You're just like, hey, I don't want to be wanted just because I exist. Will there be women that just out of nowhere will just like, hey, like you just because? Of course, they will, because maybe you remind them of an ex. Maybe they've been watching you, and then like you did like four very attractive things in a row from far away, and then by the time you talk to them, you're thinking you're laying down some great game, or you're just the most handsome guy in the world, but she's just been watching you for a while. You posted a social media story, you doing something attractive, like, you know, in the gym or doing something cool. She saw you out being very comfortable with a girl in a social circle or social scene. Um, she probably saw your name somewhere. Someone else mentioned your name, and by the time you met her, she was insanely already attracted to you. You just had to talk to her, right? That happens. That happens. Especially for you guys that have really good social lives, it will happen. Um, Sorry, my Shiba Inu is at my feet. I didn't notice. I almost kicked him. Sorry, buddy. It's okay. It's okay. But as you gain experience, you don't need that anymore, and it's very freeing. Like you no longer you accept your burden of performance, and you realize a lot of things about women and dating, and you realize it's mostly strategy, right? It's mostly being the right guy at the right time, knowing what to say, what not to say, logistics, and getting her back to your place, and fighting against distractions from women. Getting her in front of you as fast as possible, sleeping with her as fast as you can, and she agrees to, um, and then doing a good job in the bedroom, and doing that repeatedly until you have a plate, and having that plate last as long as possible without scaring away with commitment or anything like that. And then in that process, you'll learn that the way you relate to women and you see the real deal, it changes from the average man. The average man is either worshiping women or, dislikes women a lot. Or at least they think, right? So, when I see men, how they relate to even fictional characters like Himeno or Mikasa, or Tifa Lockhart, or all these super sexy kind of femme fatale, capable feminine women, you realize that what guys are into when they're very sexually experienced, like these weird anime autistic guys, they like Makima, the dominant boss bitch women, um, that is like the strongest character in the game, and she's super masculine, and like that's what they're into. She is the one that everyone's obsessed with, um in the show, right? All the girls are cosplaying as her, right? But as you get older, you're going to look at fictional characters like Himeno, right? You're going to look at Mikasa. You're going to look at I mean, everyone likes Tifa Lockhart, the boobs, I guess. I don't know. But you're going to start relating to more normal, more human like characters that aren't like overpowered or written in a way that they are like Makima or something like that, right? If that makes sense, you're gonna start relating to more normal human side of women, and that's good. That's the whole point. The point is that as you get better at dating, you start to see women for what they are, and you start to see them for their flaws, and you start to also you give them, you want them to be free and happy, um, and you don't. Your entitlement. There you go. Your entitlement goes away. And that's a good thing. That's the awesome part of dating. So, yeah. Hearing daily the most beautiful woman in the world inflate the egos. I can't stand them. Anyways, I ranted on for a long time. Let me get back to. Oh, that's yeah. I just good connection there. Is it over? Is the game over? No, it's still going. Oh man, England is still up by 1. Yeah, dude. Good point, Alex. Shit, I never made that connection. I'm like, why are they always making these dating sims? Why don't Americans make? It's because Americans don't understand romance and what men want. They don't understand the female identity. We don't know what a woman is here in America. Like seriously, we don't know what women are in America. What is a woman? I know that Matt Walsh asked that question, but like even women that are like screaming that they're not feminist and they're feminine and all that stuff are like masculine, right? And you'll see like, oh my god, that was so close. Oh, Mexico's fighting. They are fighting. Oh, almost went in. Jeez, it's gonna be a close game. Mexico might score though. But yeah, good connection, Alex. I never made that connection. Let me see. Where are we? Okay, seeing the comments. It's ironic that dating in Japan is on the down low, yet they have the most amazing representation of women in their media. Yeah, it's that always blew my mind because I know that like Japanese women in real life, they're not they're not like the anime women. I get that, right? They're normal women. They probably do shady shit. They're probably super hypergamous like American women. More so than they're allowed than other countries are allowed to be. They probably cheat and they're just women, right? They do silly goofy stuff all the time, right? And it's crazy that you say that they have the most amazing representation because they appeal to men. And you may think, well, what about women? Well, women have their own genre. This is the thing. There are genres of anime and genres of manga that appeal only to women. The Japanese figure that out in that, yeah, will they make oh, looks like Mexico lost. Damn. They're fine. That sucks. Wow, what a game. Damn. Anyways, um take that off. But it's just they separate them. That's one of the reasons why like you're able to watch Dragon Ball Z and not it be about girls, and then girls are able to watch like Spy X Family or something. And for what it's worth, I think what they do is they're able to walk that line in between capable feminine woman and badass female characters. So hey, they figured it out. So yeah, they're not real. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. But the thing is with the pornography stuff is that anime is more unrealistic in the fact that how they represent women. Like it's insane to me. Like it's dangerous. I feel more guilty watching sometimes watching anime women than I feel adult films, right? Because adult films it's just sex. It's like, yeah, I'm not ashamed of my sexuality. And like most of the stuff they do, sometimes I'm like, you'll see, and I'm like, wait, I this is normal sex. Like, what's the deal? Are men that down bad that this is like some kind of insane? Once you get genuine desire from women and are good with women, again, adult films become less appealing, right? Why? Because what is one man's gold is your like bronze. You're like, hey, like I get this regularly. This is just you guys don't get really good sex. Like you don't get what is it? Rollo calls it validational sex from women, and that's what all adult films are, right? So Aisha Clan. Oh, Outlaw Star. Yeah, she's kind of realistic in that she's a goofball and overly arrogant. That's Aisha Clan. Um, from is Outlaw Star, right? The cat woman from Outlaw Star. She gets punched in the face so much. Not that I want that for women, right? But she's a great representation of American women. Like if you go back and watch the show, she is the token American woman in that show because she's arrogant, overly confident, and always messing up. So, and the thing is, she relies on her status to get people to like do what she says. Like everyone will be on the crew will be like doing whatever, and Aisha, I think it's her name is Aisha. Hold on, let me make sure I'm talking about the same character. Aisha. Clan. Yeah, Isha Clank from All Star. Yeah, this woman. Um, let me see if I bring it up. She is very realistic, like incredibly realistic. It's not like she is a character that is arrogant. Let me see if I bring it up here. Yeah, she's in a wiki. What the hell? There we go. Jesus, man. Like so many. Let me bring her up here. Crap. I did the wrong. There we go. Boom, her. I don't know if you guys can see it well, but yeah, her. She is a good representation of a modern American woman. Super arrogant, thinks she knows everything, uses her status like, hey, you guys don't understand. In my race, we're gonna punish all of you, and you guys got to respect me because I'm high status in my own planet. Blah blah blah. And everyone's like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's great. So, damn, Mountain Man Tops is not taking it well. All I said was good game. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, exactly. It's just well written. It's not. It doesn't conflict with the main character. Aaron Yeager is still Aaron Yeager. Denji is still Denji, and Cloud Strife is still Cloud Strife. None of them, you know. And the thing is, for what it's worth, these women all sacrificed for the guy. Like Himeno sacrificed her life and was, I think, gonna take Denji's virginity, which is a big part of the show, is taking his virginity. And on top of that, like Tifa Lockhart has to heal Cloud, like pick up. Cloud is mentally broken for a part of the game, and she has to be the one to lead him back to sanity. So, yeah, let me see. Also, the MILF son dynamic appeals to females desiring youth and attraction to you being young. You, yeah, and that's why I guess why MILF is the most popular adult film stuff. Um, yeah, I guess again, it's just like you're being liked for existing. That's the male fantasy. Like, you know, you're absolved of your burden of performance. You don't have to go out. You don't have to risk rejection. You just walk into a house and some sexually experienced woman with like big boobs and, you know, wants to sleep with you. That's an amazing fantasy for men. And then sprinkle in that these are situations that men actually have, you know, all men have a friend that has a hot mom. They probably make fun of him for having a hot mom, but you know, that's what I'm saying. But as you get experience with women, this stuff becomes less appealing because you lived it, you know, like but you realize like, hey, I kind of like the chase. And when I say chase, I don't mean chase like please come back. You just like engaging with women and by the strength of your own game, logistical ability, and all that, seducing them. It's just fun. And God forbid a man enjoys seducing women, you know. My bad. So, yeah. Puerto Rican here, Calillo, thank you for all your teachings. I am better man now, thanks in part to your hey man. You're very welcome. I do this is why I do this, guys. Because rule zero, positive male identity, more sexual power and options. You know, yeah, Colombian women are hot, but you know, something about Colombian women, guys gotta understand, they're not naturally curvy. It's all the surgeries, but that's okay. Brazil women are naturally curvy, even though BBL comes from Brazil. But yeah. Let's see. I prefer Dominicans and someone likes violence, I see. Let's see. Questions. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, anime is a romanticization of relationships. Remember that anime with the girl in the wheelchair and the American woman lost it? Oh yeah. I the thing is too, like I like to watch shonens, obviously. I don't like to watch like what is it, isekai and stuff like that. But again, I just don't like watching. It just feels dirty to me. I love Chainsaw Man. It's one of my favorite animes because the main character is very relatable to men. Like it's just a guy that doesn't have anything going for himself, and he's just wants to get laid, wants to touch boobs. Like that's the most kind of like relatable thing about this guy is that he's a horny 20-year-old that's abandoned by his parents. And he wants to touch a boob, and he realizes that it's a very red pill anime. It's very red pilled. I could write an essay about it. I know that when Penguin Zero Charlie guy talked, had a blurb about it where he said that it's an anime about male naivety in terms of with women, right? Because everyone's manipulating him. Makima's manipulating him. His enemies are trying to manipulate him. They all want what he has, right? So they use food, taking care of him, the promise of sex to get, and then he falls for a girl, and that girl ends up trying to kill him, stuff. So it's very red pill in the terms of like how he tried, like how a young man deals with the world and all that stuff. So yeah, yeah, alpha females. I should look at my strength. Falls upstairs. Yeah, yeah, she's legit danger. Which character are we talking about? Keep doing what you're doing. I will, sir. His weak, yeah, and that's the thing. Again, once sexually inexperienced men, man, they're the prime demographic for manipulation. And this is why they don't want you to get sexual experience, because once you're able to fulfill all your needs on your own without having to play into a system, into an ideology, and they get mad at you, right? What do you think I go so hard against the tradcons? It's because of this reason. It's because, like, hey, um, you are using men's sec- lack of sexual experience to gain followers or people in your church, right? Instead of letting them come to that on their own. However, you're allowing women that are very sexually experienced to come into the church and lead and be examples. And for what it's worth, what do you think is going to happen? Right? If you want men in your church, in your army, navy, if you want men in your company, if you want men in your legal system, if you want men in your political system, if you want men to, they got to have sex. And I'm not saying they deserve it. I'm not saying they're entitled. You know how I feel about that. But uh yeah, it's them's the rules. Even me. Um I live a life where I work hard, but I'm very selfish. I only work for myself. Really. My girl doesn't need my money. So it's like, here we are. People want people want so badly for men to just play into this system and give them nothing in return except, hey, and all they have to give them in return is try harder. So all we're saying is that still try. You still got a better performance. Just try for yourself, man. Live for yourself, because they will never be happy. If every man on earth stopped looking at adult films, if every man on earth just got jacked, blah, 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 they would still complain. And God's going to understand that they will never stop. They complain tomorrow, the day after, and the day after. So, all right, let's take a quick break, and we'll continue. Yeah, I remember that episode where she went ham, and Gene was like, "Yeah, we should cut her a break." Yeah, it was funny. I remember. I really like how a ton of uh, anime depict women. You really don't get a good range of smart, sincere, idiotic, selfish, devoted, in Western media. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and a lot of times, women, it just blows my mind, man. Like how women they portray these women to be super capable, very powerful, capable, but like they have crushes on like the main protagonist. And again, it's that fantasy. That's why it feels dirty to me sometimes when I watch anime, because I'm like, I see naked women, and I'm like, cool. I've seen naked women lots of time, a lot, much more than the average man. And I've seen them have sex in my bed, and I know, oh yeah, cool. This thing that everyone's cool. like I've had this. I, I, it's attractive, but it isn't the wow factor is gone because I'm a normal dude with a normal dating life, and I have an attractive girlfriend, so it's like it goes away. By 30, you should be actually absolutely kind of bored of adult films, and you should only rely on them during a very bad slump buster or something like that. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. The anime feels dirtier to me sometimes because I'm watching idealized character traits of women, and that is even more unrealistic. And you'll find that when you're dating, you can tell women your fantasies and they'll do them. If they have genuine desire, they'll work with you, right? And not only that, they'll sometimes their fantasies may not be yours, but it's still hot. She'll be like, "Hey, this is my favorite anime character. I want to dress like her and hook up with you or something." And you may not be into that, but at the same time, guys pay money to jerk it because they can't fathom they can't. Okay, this is getting and it's sad, but they can't fathom a girl doing that for them. They think it's out of their realm of possibility. Can I just, without being in a relationship with an overweight woman that is post wall or whatever, just low status woman, low attractiveness woman, can I get a woman of above average attractiveness to dress like Starfire from Teen Titans or Raven and have sex with me? Can I do that? And you realize it's much easier than guys think. And for what it's worth, guys, it's hard to sell dating to guys, right? Like I said, most female approved dating coaches don't have a lot of proof of concept. A lot of the stuff they say is like 1% action and then 99% feelings, theory, should, value yourself, whatever. So where was I going with this? Female dating coaches theory. Yeah. So essentially, you get to this point where you are bored of the adult films, but you watch these characters and they play into the certain traits that are more unrealistic than adult films because it's very difficult to find both. Will you find women that are very feminine and vulnerable? Yes, but they probably can't parallel park to save their life. They probably have bruises all over their body because they're always tripping, fumbling. They can't even, and sure, men will put up with that, right? Or will you find a very capable woman? Sure, but most likely they're kind of arrogant, masculine, fighting, like just combative, overly confident in themselves, like Aisha, Clan, like that. So it's like, it would be nice if we had both. And are there women that are both? Yeah. But you won't forget those women in your real life, right? You won't forget them. And you'll see their competence in different ways. And it's really not the competence that gets you, it's the vulnerability. Like I was in a space that I think Jack was there, and guys don't understand what they like about women sometimes. We know physically, well, not even physically. The world worships Sydney Sweeney, and we say she's the ideal. And there's like these little memes where they were measuring her facial symmetry and all that stuff. I'm like, she's not that impressive face-wise. She's not Angelina Jolie. The thing is that we see women, and women are not going to like this, but we see women in pieces and parts, right? We don't see the whole package. We see ass, stomach, boobs, face, and then we make, an assessment. It takes a couple seconds, milliseconds, 1 or 2 seconds, but he can look at a woman like an object and parse out pieces and turn her into pieces and parts. It sounds shitty, but that's the way we are. We look at the body and say, she has no boobs, but she has a big ass. She can go. Good, great. I'm very attracted. Or, hey, she's very thin, but she's gorgeous in the face. Awesome. We're going. Or, hey, she has weirdly long hands or something, but she, she has collarbones. She's thin. So let's go. And that's how, and ladies, you kind of want us to be like that because that means we're always finding a redeeming factor about you. Ask black guys if you don't believe me, right? But um that's how we see men. Sorry, pause. That's how we see women, pieces and parts. So Sydney Sweeney isn't that attractive, right? She just has big boobs, and guys don't even know about it. They think that she's just gorgeous. I'm like, no, she's boob hot. Like I told Billy, boob hot. Boob hot is when men salivate over women on the internet. I'm like, dude, she just has big boobs. I think South Park did an episode on this. So that's how we see men. Hey, yo. No, I see the homies like a complete package, man. I don't see the homies like that. I don't see them for their bodies. I see them for their souls too, bro. But yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, they just want. Yeah, exactly. They just want to play into the female strategy. They're unable to only support the male strategy. So shame is the only tool they really have. They can do all kinds of things like bachelor taxes and stuff, but shame is really the only one thing guys break against. Yep. Mm, will I ever get a boa Hancock person? Man, I don't know, dude. Just keep out there. I have dated women that are very capable and attractive, but the thing is, too, those women a lot of times are very troubled. That I dated, very troubled, very broken families, messed up families, and the reason they were capable is because they had to be, right? Their parents weren't great, so they had to step up. They had high IQ, uh, and not the high IQ where I think I know everything, like the high IQ where they submitted themselves to very difficult academic programs, and they had no choice but to succeed. So, you know, and that's why I laugh because I see all these women on the internet saying intelligence, all that stuff, but is it really intelligence that they have? Oh, I'm so smart. I have a degree. You can't lock down a man. You can't cook for yourself. You need to hire someone to do literally anything for you. You can't parallel park. You can't get a man that you're attracted to see you more than twice. Like, what is your intelligence for? A paycheck? The same amount of money I earn? Like, what? Great, you did it. Congratulations on your intelligence. So, all right. Let's go to this. Let's go to the anonymous questions from the link. Let's see what we got. I got a couple here, and I will answer them. Let's see. Where are you? Let me refresh inbox. Okay. Okay. This one was from 2 days ago, but I'll read it now. I entered the red pill dating arena, and I'm currently seeing two girls in my early 20s. I'm almost sure that one is a virgin and the other had one guy in the past. My inner blue pill conditioning makes me feel bad that I'll eventually break one's heart. How to cope? First off, dude, you got to realize that women have agency. Number one, you're not like taking advantage. This is 100% consensual if they sleep with you. It is not like you're trying to fool them or trick them. These women have even virgin women run circles around men. You're just the first guy probably that they are not running circles around. Do you understand? Like you are chosen, so act like it. That's yeah, exactly like Luis Depp says here. It's not your problem. Stop with the whole I feel bad because we're both getting what we want. She wants to sleep with you. And the thing is too, virginity is not a big deal, guys. I don't know why guys still in 2026 think virginity is some kind of goal in a woman. What does virginity get you? Apparently it's some imagined like less risk of her leaving you and all that stuff. But like you're really gonna rely on virginity to get a woman not to leave you? Have you guys tried being attractive and having options? That works a lot better. And it works a lot better with women that have more than one as a body count. So um yeah. and also, virgin like again, virginity's not that a big deal. And when you take a virginity, it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be some kind of thing. Like it's gonna be not to get too graphic here, but it may be messy. You may be very worried about her. She may either be in lots of pain or she will not enjoy it, but she'll still tell you to pull through. Why? Because most women that are virgins nowadays are just trying to get it over with, and you are the guy. It doesn't mean she's in love with you. It doesn't mean she wants to spend the rest of her life with you, that she chose you. She's just trying to get it over with, and you're the guy. Is it an honor? Sure. I mean, yeah, it's a big deal. It's bigger deal than it isn't just casual sex. Like, hey, what's up? It's just like, hey, she wants to get it over with. You built up enough trust, but it isn't something that it isn't good sex. It will not be good sex. It will be during it. You will feel more like making sure she's okay because she's never had sex. So you got to tell her, hey, this is normal, and all that stuff. So yeah, just something they want to get over. It's not a big deal. So yeah. You're still blue pilled a little bit, but hey, over time you get over this. Like, so yep. I took a girl's virginity last year and she was 19, and guess what? As soon as she left for university, yeah, I took a girl's virginity in 2023. And I didn't even know until I initiated sex with her, and it was just she was a 4'11" Taiwanese girl. Cute. I met her at a dance night, and um it was halfway trying to start to have sex. I was like, wait a minute. I looked at her and said, wait, are you a virgin? And she just nodded. And I'm like, okay. And then I told her, let's just go slow, whatever. And the whole time she was giggling. And it made me kind of like freaked out. I'm like, shouldn't you be in a lot of pain? But she's like, I guess she was just happy to get it over with. She's like, yep, go ahead. Get it done. And after we hooked up a couple times and all that stuff, um, she got a back tattoo and continued living life and partying. So Final Fantasy Battle. Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. You guys, if I use that, will I get a copyright strike? But anyways, great question though. I'm glad. Like, see, these are the questions that need to be asked. Like, because it's important. Because a lot of you guys, if you're attractive and you start dating, you probably will see it. You will probably be meet up with the virgin. I went on a date with the virgin. We didn't sleep with each other, but she admitted she was a virgin on a date. And it's more common than you think, but only if you're out there dating and hitting the streets hard. You will probably, if you're dating younger, like mid to low 20s, you will find a virgin eventually. So yeah, women are starting to have sex later and later. Um, all right, here we go. Who Oh wait, that's the app that's asking me from a friend 1 hour ago. Okay. Let's see. What to do when your girlfriend controlling about the smallest things and keeps questioning your choices? This is a little vague. What to do when your girlfriend is controlling you about the smallest things and keeps questioning your choices? Um, you just gotta let her know, man. Like she can't really what do you do when girls controlling about the smallest things and keeps questioning your choices? Well, maybe it's like the drunken captain first mate dynamic, right? I don't know. Maybe you guys live together. She doesn't see like you have much of a future. This is the big picture. Like like maybe she doesn't feel like you know what you're doing in life. Um, she feels like you're not going anywhere, so she kind of starts questioning everything you do. She's lost attraction for you. Maybe you have no drive, or maybe she's just like that and she sucks. She doesn't know how to be a good girlfriend. The only way to know the difference is to evaluate yourself and be like, hey, am I still the same man she fell in love with and she hooked up with the first night? And am I really going somewhere? Am I ambitious? Am I attractive? Do I have things going on? Because if you're a type of guy that like gets home from work and just plays video games for 6 hours a day, you know, you better have legendary level of game because most women are not going to put up with that. They don't like that. So you got to have something outside that kind of, and have one foot out the door too. Maybe you're getting comfortable, you're gaining weight, she's gaining weight, she wants to move on, and she's arguing with you and all that stuff because of the drunk captain first mate dynamic. So yeah. Nuke, have you played Red Dead Redemption 2? What do you think about Dutch? I have it on my PS4 here, which I just hooked up to my projector. And as soon as I finish with Crimson Desert, I'm gonna play it again. So yeah, I love it. Nuke, what do you mean when you say up the alpha mindset? Okay, so what is alpha? Alpha is a set of behaviors, right? It is an identity. It is a set of behaviors. We call men alpha when they show a significant amount of more alpha behaviors than beta behaviors. But alpha is just a mindset, right? We just say alpha and beta as placeholder terms. A beta is a guy that shows more beta behaviors than alpha behaviors, right? And what are alpha behaviors? Well, charm, um, not apologizing for his needs, his wants, and going after what he wants in life, sleeping with multiple women, pre-selected by women, muscles, just genetics, height, if you have it, looks, that's all alpha stuff. Violent, or capacity for violence, that's where muscles and being dangerous and having scars and all that stuff comes from, right? So you're not going to go out and get scars. You're not going to out and purposely get a dangerous job just so you can be hot to them, unless sure, if but up the alpha is basically you got to be a little bit more. You got to tease your woman. You got to display signs of you got to run dread. You got to let her know that, hey, if other women could have me, they would. Not directly though, indirectly, right? Like if you go to the coffee shop and a girl starts chatting you up at the counter and is a little bit flirty, just play into it, right? Don't discourage it. Let your girl know that you still got riz, and that if she acts up, other women would be happy to have you. At least the illusion, right? That's not to say that the cashier is like dying to have sex with you, right? But at least it shows that women find you attractive enough where they can be flirty. And that's upping the alpha, right? Upping the alpha could be those things, doing those things within reason that doesn't get you in trouble or look stupid, right? Or try hard. So sometimes upping the alpha is just getting jacked. Maybe you're a little bit chubby or you're misshapen. Upping the alpha is just getting fucking great shape. That's upping the alpha. Upping the alpha would be like, hey, instead of like starting an argument with your girl, controlled fire, right? Like cause a little bit of drama, a controlled fire instead of outside drama, and pretend to be mad. Women eat that shit up. That's upping the alpha. Stuff like that, right? So that's what I mean by up the alpha. You get one of these, sir. Let me see. There's got to be something else I can give you. Here, I'll give you one of these.
Are you trying to have sex with me?
Leah Silver with the $5.01. Thoughts on guys' rules for where to find women, grocery stores, bars, etc. I get sharing notes, but I find rules come off akin to covert contracts. This is what I say. You shoot your shot anywhere, but you have to understand the context. And the context involves culture, time of day, is it a sexual zone or not sexual zone, and who is there. Context is what is the most important here. Like I was explaining earlier, grocery store, you're not going to be pulling up to her and saying something super flirty or forward, right? It's the grocery store. You just start with, hey, do you recommend this? Or like, what do you think is better, this one or this one? And just, can you throw in something flirty in there? Sure. But it's a higher risk than you being in a sexual zone, like possibly a salsa night or a pool party, right? Or a singles event, whatever. I don't know. Is Run Club? No, Run Club is not sexual. But anyways, you guys get it. It's not. There's no rules. The rule is context. Context matters. Calibrate to the context, and when she shows signs of openness, which again, don't eat pain, that she's going to show you. What is a sign that a woman wants you to continue talking and is a little bit more open? She turns and faces you, right? Or she asks you a question back. Those are all signs of like she's hooked. You got the hook. She's back. She's basically saying continue, right? But context is the most important. Know where you're at. Know how you talk to women in that. And sometimes there's just contexts where you cannot be sexual or barely flirty at all because it's just weird, right? So, yeah, good question. Thank you. Moist. Could it be on the kick mixile? Moist. Oh man, I hate that word. Don't we all? All right. So let's see. Keep going. All right. New message from Ren. Bedroom technique advice. Oh, geez. I mean, I can give you some tips. First tip is to have feminine wipes in your toilet. That's the first tip. If you're gonna bring girls back, you have to have feminine wipes above your toilet, somewhere very visible where she can see, because when things are getting hot and heavy, the first thing she's gonna do is go to the bathroom and clean up her vagina. So you want to make sure you have feminine wipes so she can clean it up for herself, and she'd be ready to go and less self-conscious, right? And it's hot out, so our genitals are sweating just like the rest of our body. So, and it's good for you too. Like, use the bathroom right after her and clean up your junk because you're probably all sweaty and dirty too. Do her a favor, right? Um, Other bedroom technique. I'm not gonna get too nitty gritty. I don't want to cringe you or disgust you guys out. This is a PG-13, PG-18. I don't know. Stream. So I will say, understand that the female orgasm is not yours. Yours is just one big explosion and then that's it. Hers, it's like build up, right? It's a build up, and it's like a kettle. Like, once it starts, you want to get it boiling. Once it's boiling, it almost stays boiling the whole time. That's like how female pleasure is, right? Which is pretty awesome for them. But you want to get them to that point. And you do a lot of push and pull. You change the speed of the strokes during sex. You go fast for a little bit, slow down, go fast. In terms of how rough, there are just some things that are riskier, right? Like, slapping a girl during sex is a little bit risky. After like 32 years old, I just started doing it with all women. And did I get complaints? Not really. But obviously, after COVID, women are got a little bit more, hardcore and what they like. So, yeah, changing the pace of which you have sex really is one of the most important things. I am not of this advice that watching adult films helps you get better at sex, because adult films more focus on angles and showing off, like exaggerating angles and visually stimulating, and that's not always comfortable. You could ask Sterling; he has a video about that. Eating cunnilingus does not make you lame or less of a man. If that's what you like to do, then do it and get good at it. Women will like it. So who cares what the internet has to say about that? And other than that, just be one step dirtier than her, right? Like, when I say dirty, you got to sexually lead. You can't be squeamish in the bedroom. That's why I don't like these guys that are just like, oh, I don't do oral sex on women. I'm like, yeah, maybe the first night you don't know her, great, but eventually you guys gotta stop with this. They don't do this or they don't do that, right? Like, are there things you shouldn't do or you don't want to do? Of course, yeah, but you got to remember that you're leading in the bedroom too. You're leading in life and in the bedroom, and you always got to be the one that she sees as the more sexually deviant out of both of you, right? So lead like that. And sometimes hardcore sex, like rough sex, isn't like, don't always focus on that. Don't think that you have to just destroy a girl in bed in order to have good sex, right? There's different types of sex you can have. It could be slow. Sometimes it could be, you could go back and forth and all that. and realize that a lot of the times it's the accessories in the bedroom that make sex different and better than other men, right? Having a mirror in front of, if you have her in doggy style and you have a mirror in front and she can see herself in doggy style, that will blow her mind, right? So it's one of the most powerful tools in the bedroom is a mirror, right? Put it somewhere where if you're going to do doggy style, she can see herself, right? Or any other position, she can see herself, because women, that turns women on. If you don't believe me, go on social media. I've seen posts of women say, "Yeah, he took my soul by doing that," whatever. Blindfolds and all that. Music, put on some sexy music, not the whole, saxophone, Kenny G shit. Like, for me personally, I used to put on reggaeton, and because for some reason, especially when sleeping with Latinas, that puts me and them in the mood. So putting on reggaeton is pretty good stuff. Whatever, like, is sexy. You don't have to put on music, but I'm just saying, like, those are, so it's all in the mind. Remember that her orgasm is here, right? It's all in here. So treat it like that, and most importantly, be selfish, right? She is there for you. I would say the first time, completely obliterate her, right? Because you're trying to get your foot in the door and trying to, like, stand out from other guys. But after a while, start just using her body for your own pleasure and let her know that. It turns them on. So yeah, those are my bedroom. I can go deeper, but I mean, this is YouTube, and I'm sure the other guys don't really want to hear about my penis techniques. But all right. What are your 5 must-haves for a bachelor pad for women to feel comfortable? Something like having a bottle of girl shampoo or comfy extra slippers or snacks. Uh, like I said, the first one, what do you call it? The first one, what is it? What was it? The feminine wipes. Have feminine wipes above the toilet, somewhere very visible. And bonus if they're, like, specifically for women. And that way, when she gets to your apartment and she gets really, things are getting hot and heavy, she has feminine wipes. She'll thank you. She'll want to come back. Other things, I would say, bathrobe, a very comfortable bathrobe for her that works wonders. Like, just have her wear it after sex in the morning. That is, it shows thoughtfulness and all that stuff. Uh, let's see. If you have a fireplace, and I would pay for the gas service. Like, in America, you have to pay for, if you live in an apartment, you have a fireplace, you have to pay for the gas service. So I highly recommend that you pay for the service, especially during the winter, because it adds to the vibe. You turn on the fireplace and you relax, and whatever. See what else. Having a bottle of girl shampoo, not so much, because women are not finicky. They know that they're your place, so if they need a shower, they don't require shampoo as much. But sure, I mean, she's just gonna think that you have other girls there. Like, it's just too obvious. Like, the wipes could be, oh, I just use them for me, or she can't argue too much because it's so beneficial to her. She can't be, like, mad at you for that. But snacks, I would say home bar, have some the ability to make girly drinks, like a Cosmo or something. So you want your gin, you want a bottle of gin, maybe red wine, you want some mixers or whatever. Know how to make 2 or 3 drinks, like, so. Yeah, put on some Cotton Eye Joe. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Let me see what else. Lighting is very important. So, guys, at this point, like, if you don't have uh smart bulbs in your house, what are you doing, right? You plug them into whatever light fixture you have, you connect them to your Alexa, whatever other app, and you could even put it on a timer, or you can command it to change colors and all that stuff. Like, the sphere behind me, that's an Alexa connected uh lamp right here behind me. So you can just turn everything red, put on some music in the background, fireplace going, and you're serving her a drink with the lights all red in your apartment. Come on. That's a mood, or is that a mood? Right? So I would say all those things are very starter entry point level of things you need. And guys, if you would like for me to design your apartment or add stuff to your apartment, you can email me and I'll do it. I already did it for one guy. He was a med student. He was moving in. He's just like, hey, I need you to I need you to help me organize my apartment so when I have girls over. And guys, it's one of my not my passion, but I love interior design, masculine interior design. So if you guys would like, just email me, and we can get you some answers for your apartment. All right. And we got a new message here. Do you have a general time frame for dates before trying to get it back to your place? Sometimes I get caught up enjoying a date and I ask late in the day after a few hours. Usually 2.5 hours is the point, right? Usually my dates are around 8. 8 is a good sweet spot. Obviously, later is better. If she says, "Can we meet later in the night?" Especially because if she's coming from another event, she's probably drunk already, like, But if you're the first thing she has to do that day besides work, 8 p.m. is the best time. And around 10 p.m., you got to make a decision. You got to just fire it off. Like 2 hours is plenty of time for you to get to know a woman, escalate, tell stories, get her, whatever you got to do. And then at that point, you let her say, you want to go back to my place. And by the time you get to your place, it's probably 10:30, and she can make a choice. Yeah, I want to stay here for the night, have sex. I want to leave, whatever I want to do. Right. So, yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, it's crazy that you say this. Sometimes I get caught up enjoying the date and escalating the day after a few hours. That's the thing. That's the biggest flex. You see how, like, why I like these questions, and you see why I like the way I do, because for every 1,000 dorks, harpies, angry e-girls, or weirdos, both men and women, that are constantly telling me that I'm a grifter, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I am a degenerate, that I'm the reason that women are bad, whatever theories they have. Um, I get messages like these where it's like men saying, I was enjoying the date. Do you know how refreshing that is? Everyone on Twitter is just like, women suck. This woman on Hinge said her standards are high. My day is ruined. Can you believe this? And podcasts and all that stuff. I'm like, guys, stop for a second. This guy's enjoying a date. This guy is having a good time. I'm like, shit, well, um, that's the point. You're enjoying the day. You know why? Because you've learned how to filter out for desire, right? You know what guys do? They fight and negotiate and wait weeks to go out with a girl, and then they're surprised that the girl is not into them. And then a guy's like, "Hey, you want to do this?" She says, "Let's do this instead." Well, okay, sorry, no, it's my way or the highway. Next, and they keep doing that until they find a girl that's like, "Hey, you want to do this?" Absolutely, I can't wait to see you. And then they go on a date, and they're like, "Crap, I forgot to have sex with her because I'm having a good time. I'm having my favorite drinks. This girl has her titties out. You can see the titty veins, and she's touching my thigh, and the bartender's giving me a free shot. I'm dressed really well. She put in effort. She smells great. Insert Pat Stedman reference here. And I forgot that I have to smash this chick, and that is a flex. The flex, guys, isn't that you're having sex. Lots of men are having sex. It's that you enjoy the process. Because, like that Chinese saying says, enjoying the process will get you farther than the actual desire for the end state. So this is good. This is a great sign. You are in a good spot, my friend. And that is where I want to get everyone to. It's like to enjoy it. I know that sounds crazy. A lot of you are like, how am I going to enjoy dates with women? It's stupid. Well, like, that's why I came up with the system, because I enjoyed all my dates, if not most of them. Did some of them suck? Yeah. Did all of them end in sex? No. But I was able to go on dates with women that liked me at least a little bit, that wanted to meet me. And that made it so much better. So, yeah, yeah, I like how women smell. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's the best we've got apparently in terms of dating, guys. Sometimes I feel like, am I making a difference? Am I helping guys? Apparently I am, right? But um, you know, if he can do it, why can't I? If all these female dating coaches can do it, why can't I? And marketing is tough, but now on my Instagram, I'm getting a lot of dating content, a lot of this, a lot of that, right? And I always thought that what I'm doing is just something that everyone knew. That is my biggest weakness in terms of me doing business and the space. I always think that men are at my level. I have this thing where I have such a desire to see men as equal to me that I don't like feeling better than other guys. I don't know what it is. I see all of you guys as equal. I know it's easy for me to say. It's probably like I'm like gaming you guys right now. It sounds like, right? But I see you guys as equal. A lot of you guys are probably killing it in your own fields in your own lives, and I have such a desire for that to be the truth that when I find out that men that have a lot so much going for them can't even understand the difference between what a woman says and what she does, that they get flustered when they see a profile of a woman with egregious standards. Like, hey, maybe that's not her actual standards, or maybe she doesn't really know what she's saying. She's just copying pasting from another TikTok that she saw. You are all these things. You're a great guy in terms of like competence, and this is your existence. You are in women's frame. You are reactionary. That's all you are. You'll never go beyond reacting to women and then sitting on your hands and waiting for a girl that pretends to not be those things so she can get married. Congratulations. Like, you're so much better. So it pains me, right? But then I see the comment section of all these female dating coaches or female approved dating coaches, and it's men that are just, you make so much sense. And you guys not hear what she just said? Like, are you guys crazy? Have you guys been on a date? Like, you guys not understand how this works? Right? Or it's things guys are like or it's men going viral over something that like we in the chat knew like 10 years ago. Right? Oh, hey, it's like these techniques or these things where it like internet, it blows the internet's mind. Oh, what a genius guru. I'm like, yeah, that's standard. That's like what you're supposed to do. Like, what? Is the average man so lost that basic good dating advice is blowing their minds? And I think what it is that I'm just too into this side of I'm too surrounded by like my audience is probably dating and normal. Because I when you make educational content, it kind of filters out for the whole people that want drama and stuff. So they don't, like this Brittany Venti chick, she can make all the videos of the world and me, blah blah, and say whatever, but her audience and mine will never cross. We don't understand each other. We don't want to understand each other, and I'm glad for that, right? I am not here to gossip or to make, I don't care, right? I'm a field service engineer, former nuclear Navy operator. I taught myself how to play piano. I taught myself game. I learned Spanish reading the Bible. I go to the gym 4 times a week. I got the dog I want. I'm living in the neighborhood I've always wanted in Dallas. I'm, like, what do I care about who fucked who outside of my life, right? So, yeah. Yeah, like what was the other day, Karn? Man, Huberman, the Huberman podcast guy, the brain guy. He's like talking about the whole time warp that happens between two locations if you take her to a second location. And all of us here at the Red Pill are just like, dude, I learned that like in 2011. Like I saw VH1's The Pickup Artist. When did that come out? 2006? 2008? 2006, right? That's when it came out. 2005. I'm like, yeah, they talked about that in that show. And the book The Game that came out around the same time. Yeah. And it's 2026 and they're talking about it like it's some new discovery. Yeah, the pickup artists have done more for Evo Psych than all of academia put together. So it's like we really are ahead, guys. I'm sorry to say, like, there is not just the fact of you being here is insane. This is the 1%. I'm sorry, I don't want to be that guy to fluff you guys up so much, but it really is. This is it, guys. Like, I recommend following one or two OF girls on Twitter, or go on Instagram and follow a couple female dating coaches, and just listen to the advice and just shake your head the whole time. You're gonna be like, wow, there's 33-year-old men in this chat that are like eating this shitty advice up. And I learned not to do this at 24, and men are learning to do it at 33. Let me say that again. You learned at 24 years old to not do something, to not do the same thing that a 33-year-old is learning to do, or a guy learning to do at 33, if that makes sense. Like, how am I not in jail? I should be in jail. This is just too practical. Yeah, welcome to the 2005 mystery. Let me get these super chats. All right. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend.
With Liar Silver, $5.01. Without going into much detail, I've had family members try to set me up with strangers they've never met and nothing about. It's rough out there. Okay, I don't understand. Oh, okay. Wait, I'm confused. Set. Okay, I don't understand. Yeah, can you clarify the super chat, please, if you could? All right, yeah, here's another one.
Thank you so much, best friend.
$5.01. Without disclosing too much, I have family that have tried to set me up with women they know next to nothing about. It's rough out there. What do you mean, like rough for you or rough for them? Like, I don't. Yeah, they're leaving him off a cliff. We are the Survey Corps of dating. I like that shit. I'm gonna use that for now. We killed several smart titans and saw the ocean, and the main steam just realized there are giants. There are giants beyond the wall. Yeah. Yeah. The mainstream just realized it. Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry you had to super chat twice. If you ever super chat and it isn't clear, just write it again normal, and I'll be happy to field the correct post. So happy 4th, Nuke. Appreciate your service. Thank you, sir. Nice to see you in the chat. Rough for guys in general. Yeah. Like a blind date. There are definitely some giants out there. Yeah. Okay. Nuke, why do girls play subliminal mind games? They're not. They're different. They're not you. They're not us. They have different sexual strategy and they have different goals than us. Hopefully that helps. All right. Yeah, it's much harder than people think out there. You know, it's not like it's not one of those things where guys, you got to step back from time, right? And you got to realize that this internet stuff, Instagram, it kind of makes you feel like you're less than you are. I feel like I'm less than I am sometimes. But there was the post of the girl with the standards the other day. You know, every quarter a girl does the I have standards post. And then I wrote that, hey, and I ratioed her, rightfully so. And it's like one in 10,000 men meet your criteria, right? That's a small stadium of men. One of those meets your criteria. So women have only one thing they can do for us, and that's make us feel less than we are. That's their only thing they can do. Because if we found out as men our true value, they're screwed. Right? they're screwed. And I'm not like, this is not like a threat, like, oh, they're screwed. Like they're gonna get, like we're gonna tie him, it's gonna be like that one movie, what do you call it? Scarlet Letter or something. What's the name of the movie? Well, I forgot. It's late. Anyways, yeah, it just means that their dating options are gonna dwindle even more, right? If we as men, your job is to get more out of the world, as much as you can out of the world as it gets out of you, right? To match your sacrifice. That is your job. And you get to sometimes make the choice of how much your sacrifice is worth, right? So if you are an attractive guy and you can get multiple women, it may not make sense to you to be monogamous. Why? Because you just don't see it as an equal exchange. If I can get several women to be on my program and all act like my girlfriends and give me freedom, then why would I settle for one? Like, I don't get it. Right. And the opposite, guy might be like, I can go out and date multiple women. I don't need the validation from multiple women. So I can just stay with one and focus. And it's like, there you go. Both of those men make a value judgment, but it wasn't based on some other man's moral framework. It was based on their own. And that really is the point of all this, right? Nick, are we allowed to post field reports in the Discord? Sure. Oh, you can also post it in the Substack too. So I gotta check. I don't go on Discord a lot. I'm thinking of getting rid of Discord because it's too much of a security risk. But I'm still thinking about it. You can buy Nathan's fat ones in Texas, but they're sold under a different brand name. Nuke wouldn't know it. Yeah, I don't know what Cool Runnings. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it for tonight. So yeah, I like talking to you guys. I wish I could just talk on forever, but I got work in the morning and I'm trying to get it like 30 more minutes out of Crimson Desert, getting really back into it. Been working so much, man, so it's nice to be able to play a video game here and there. But you guys know the deal. Right? You guys know the deal. You guys understand that you're the point of me saying this isn't that so you can walk around the earth entitled to women. You guys need to separate being awesome to being entitled, right? You are awesome and that's it. The fact that girls notice it, great, awesome, but it doesn't mean they owe you anything. The owing stuff is unattractive. It's always a demonstration of lower value. Women can feel it. Just be awesome. So yeah, I gotta get up at 6. Yeah, man, you are really sacrificing. I respect that. You're here and you still gotta get up at 6. So I will leave so I don't waste your time. So you can get up for work. But in conclusion, right? This is the reason we're here. Women will always try to, even women that love you, they will all try to remind you or try to tell you, hey, you ain't shit in some form or way or another. They will even say, hey, you're a virgin. No, I'm not. Hey, you only sleep with. Here's a common one I get, right? Because the nature of my content, it's like the women you sleep with are whores, low class, ghetto, STD infested. I'm like, I have slept with the most normal, hardworking, educated women that I've ever seen. Normal. The thing is that they can envision, they hate the fact that all women, or can't face the fact that all women like hot guys. I'm not saying I'm that hot, right? But I'm like, compared to the average man, I'm not fat, I'm, whatever. But it's hard for them to accept that, right? Because they still think that women have an honor system and that honor system aligns with theirs. It's pathetic. But it's great for you because they can argue with you on the internet all they want. But at the end of the day, it doesn't hold up to reality. Women do not care about the opinion of men they're not having sex with. So, Nuke, you want to talk about Frame next time? I'm going through Ryan's book right now. Oh, I have a great video on Frame. on YouTube. It's really good. You would like it. It's like one of my best videos this year. It has a full PowerPoint, and not the boring PowerPoint, the actual interesting PowerPoint. I put it in the chat now. Anyways, guys, if there's no more super chats, I think I'm going to call it. I am tired. It's been a crazy weekend. Well, not crazy, just it was the weekend that was tiring. It's work before the weekend. And all that. Here we go. Here's the frame video. I'll put it in the chat so you guys can watch it. So yeah, long week, and I just wrong link. Sorry. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, happens. Great stream. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it. Book is first round of edits. I start tomorrow. I've just been so busy working 12-hour days, 10-hour days that haven't had time. And guys, check out my article today. Subscribe to the Substack. It's great stuff. $7 a month. You won't even, your bank account won't even feel it. You get like 100, like I'm almost at 200 essays right now. It'll take you, if you read one essay a day, it'll take you 8 months, 9 months to go through each one of those essays. And all you got to do is pay $7. And they're all good, man. They're all insightful, good stuff. So I highly recommend, join the Substack. As a matter of fact, I'll put the link here. And imagine if I could live off Substack, then I can write for you guys even more and even make it better content, right? Being an engineer and a content creator is tough work, tough business, right? But I do it because I enjoy it. It's one of my passions, and seeing you guys, seeing men that fucking give a shit is so nice. In a world of complaining and when women are bad and why can't women, just seeing a guy say, I forgot to ask a woman to have sex with me because I was enjoying the date too much. That is so nice. Because yes, dude, I want you to get laid. I want you to be happy, but you don't understand what advantage you just unlocked. You have discovered how to enjoy dating. And once you do that, you're going to become better than me, bro. Congratulations. You won. You really won. It's just your spoils are going to take a little while to manifest, but you won. So win, guys, this is the whole point. Enjoy the process. And then once you get tired or a girl's smart enough to lock you down, she does. And that's it. That's the play. Anyways, guys, I already said what I was going to say. Have a good night.